fellow Jesus freak. Where to begin? I've just finished watching you own evolution, and I'm a little bit concerned. I've been trying to think of a rational argument that I can put to you, to persuade you to, if not slowly move away from your faith, but at least to dilute it, to weaken it somewhat. Not because we atheists need any more amongst our ranks, but just simply for you. I'm not going to talk about religion, and I'm not going to talk about science. There are plenty of other people out there who can do that, and if you're not hearing what's out there, then nothing that I say is going to make any difference whatsoever. So I'm going to talk about mental health, and the reason that I'm going to take that approach is because you mentioned dragons in your video. You want to believe that dragons existed only a couple of thousand years ago, because it's written in a book. And so you have heard somewhere on TV about an insect that can mix two chemicals from two separate glands and produce an acid which generates heat. And you leap to the existence only 2,000 years ago of fire-breathing dragons. Now I can hear you saying, well, you evolutionists, you leap from bacteria to every other form of life, so don't talk to me about going from insects to dragons. There's a difference. We go from bacteria to modern man and all the other modern animals by taking 3,000 million years minimum to do it. You're talking about a dragon that supposedly existed 2,000 years ago, and you dare to say, where are the missing links in the fossil record? Where's the dragon in the fossil record? I mean, the answer is that animals don't fossilize very easily at all. I think it's something like 99.999% of animals that live and die don't get fossilized. It takes very particular conditions in a sequence, a very particular sequence, to produce a fossil. I digress. I'm talking about science, and I don't want to do that. It's really, really hard to do, because you're only going to hear just a few words of what I say if you think that I'm in any way aggressive towards you, and I'm not aggressive towards you. I am aggressive towards religion when it does harm. And there are obviously certain areas where religion has done a lot of harm, and you can hear about those any time you choose to go looking for them. But let's just talk about individuals. I don't think your religion is doing you any good. In effect, to go from the existence of an insect in South America, which can generate something which generates heat, to go from that to a dragon, I think what you've done in your desire to believe is you've effectively taken a big axe and driven it straight down the middle of your head. You've divided your brain into two parts, the feeling part, the emotional part, and the rational part. And you're trying to keep up a dialogue between the two halves of your brain, but it's not easy, is it? I could tell from your video that you are absolutely desperate to keep those two parts talking, to have your faith, to have rationality. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to have both. What I think you need to do is to read. Not just one book over and over and over, but lots of different books. And for your choice of books, don't look in, don't get them from creationists. Don't seek out your authors via authors you already know. If you were my friend and you were talking the way that you were talking on your Owning Evolution video, it would probably be the last thing that you allowed me to say to you as a friend. But I would tell you to read a book called Cosmos by Carl Sagan. The reason I mention that particular book is because I think a lot of religious people see science as some kind of cold void with no heart, with no joy, with no beauty, with everything rationally explained and nothing to wonder about and nothing mysterious to ponder. It really isn't like that, and Carl Sagan is the best author that I can think of to introduce you to that way of thinking. If you keep going the way you're going in the 21st century, you may well keep one or two religious friends. If you still have any friends who aren't religious, you will lose them. You will lose them because you will become more desperate, and the links that you try and draw between things which are indisputable with those things that you want to believe will become embarrassing for your non-religious friends. They may even become embarrassing for some of your religious friends. And it's just so unnecessary. I suppose in a way this could be a video response, not so much to your video, but a message through time into the future to Jesus Freak circa 2037 or 47 or somewhere around there. Because if you keep going the way you're going, in a few years' time you're going to have two choices. Three choices. One is a terrible loneliness. Two is medication. Three is no medication but a hospital ward where you'll be treated for something very, very close to schizophrenia, which you will have done to yourself. It wasn't your fault. You didn't start it. As a child, you did not choose to do this to yourself. But it has been done, and you've picked up the ball and you've run with it, my friend. So, to Jesus Freak in the future, if you're happy, great. If you've got lots of friends, really good, well done. Sorry I produced a moment of alarm in 2007. But if your thinking carries you where it could carry you, then my message to you is, I am really, really sorry. Really sorry. And a lot of those atheists out there who feel anger towards you, they'll be sorry too, because we're not like you think we are. In the same way that science isn't cold, atheists aren't cold either. And it's just so unnecessary. Best of luck.